guys? Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project, psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project. If you like an introduction as well as a summary, that's loud music, into what we do on this channel, how we break down the project into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and so on and so forth, as well as the content schedule and the live streaming schedule with the copyright-free music. You can all find that in the previous live stream summaries straight up to January 2021. For the past 3.5 years, it's all there. With that being said, let's dive ahead into the content for today, which is, table contents really. Again, 14-minute stream, not too long. We're going to divvy it up into largely about 8 segments, and I have to say that at least half the segments here will be very short. And so the first one usually is photography, and a bit of food and dietetics and nutrition and recipe and cooking and stuff like that. But that one is kind of like empty today. I don't really have any food to discuss over there. The next one after that is usually digital stuff. So like what you see here on the left hand side, what you see is what you get. We have a little bit of a channel highlight right here. Apparently it's on Instagram and stuff like that, but stored reflections, that's something that this is something that really I used to practice myself to save my life, and really something that I still do to this day after having encountered some new challenges that are really putting me to my limits. And so I just wanted to showcase something that I really appreciate right here, and I'm going to remove it to the side down here because I don't want to make it a copyright thing for now. But basically it's a little bit of stoicism and philosophy. We'll move on to the next one after that. The fifth segment is going to be more physical, where it's more engaging. You can see the room right here, that's region D1. I've just been facing here the entire stream so far, but basically the entire room. We're going to see if we have to cover anything that's like garbage or trash. I can't really do too much with that either, so it's going to be a very short stream. Maybe I can talk about this thing that I'm going to recycle. That's about it. And then after that, we're going to get to I guess digital stuff that has to do with almost metrics, so measuring your life and stuff like that. So I have some Excel databases, right, and I have it up here, but it's not really responding. That's fine. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just kind of recording some health issues that have kind of cropped up over the past 5 days, and that's what you see in the title. What you see is what you get right here. So in terms of digital stuff, it's not just on Excel and the databasing, but even on the screen right here, the title, it says health, the kidneys. It's more than just kidneys. I said kidney jeopardy, but really it's like my pancreas, my entire lower left abdomen. So from my descending colon to my kidneys to my pancreas, and some potentially long-term damage and pain there. So I have to be careful about that. After that, finally, will be the 7th and 8th segments. The 7th is just largely, and if any comments, I just try and get back to you guys there. It can be funny memes, it can be something serious, you have a question, you want to, or just comment or say something, you want to share a story that you have, go for it. And that's when I'll usually reply to all of you guys. I'm going to try and move that to the front. And the last one would be the take-home message. So with that being said, 2 things before we dive into everything here. First thing, this is going to be real, raw, and genuine. It means that I have to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly. Whether it involves emotional insecurities and baggage or whatnot, I still will cover non-PC topics. I'm not going to shy away from non-PC topics because this is like a time record, right? That's one analogy of the Ahn Rho Project, and that's one way of describing it, is like a time capsule. Second thing, otherwise it would defeat the point of all of this. The second thing is that it's supposed to be a high utility stream. It means that it's supposed to be useful for me. If it's not useful for me, then it's not really there's not much point in me doing this, because right now there's not a whole lot of value that other people can extract from this. So I'm not necessarily doing this for a lot of other people. Right now, the most important thing is that I do this for me, and that's useful for me. So I'm practicing something here that actually benefits my life, really helps me manage life in general. So with that being said, let's get started. Photography, there's literally nothing. So I'm going to pull up here. I'm going to skip on to the 4th segment right now, and I'm going to pull up this like I said, right there, it was on Instagram, the channel. You can check the page, you can check out the stoic reflections, and I'm really happy to like that right now. I only follow about 4. It says right here from Seneca that it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste most of it. And I happen to agree in a lot of aspects with that. It's actually, do you agree? And I think so. Yeah, I do. In the sense that oftentimes we spend so much time dwelling on things that really don't matter, instead of focusing on action and getting things done in specific areas that we can actually control, largely our own moral character as well as our own responsibility, making sure we just go ahead and do what's necessary and do what what makes us fulfilled in life, as opposed to spending our time dwelling over things that are outside our realm of control, whether that's other people's opinions or material objects and so on and so forth. But I'm not gonna dive too much into that. The point is, I just wanted to show some appreciation for Stoic reflections as well as Seneca from way back, like 2,000 years ago. So that's just something that, again, I had to derive from scratch when I was just like way back, like a kid, like 5, 6, 7 years old, because of domestic issues, domestic violence and so on and so forth that was going on inside the household. And so I'm very glad that, all that stuff is done and it's made me stronger. And I just brought that up because right now I'm going through some shit, obviously, for the past 9 months. I covered that before, and it's been really helpful for me to dig back all these psychological hacks and philosophical tricks that I used to use way back, when I was just a kid, a little tyke. And I've used it for as long as I could, but sometimes would fall off the wagon, and I have to find myself climb back out of the hole. And so that's where I'm at right now. So that's about that in terms of digital stuff. Screenshots, photography, food, dietetics, those 2 segments. Okay, moving on. In terms of active stuff, let's try to get up here. I just want to get up on stream at least once every time. So there's D1. Let's get up. Stand up. Alright, so there's not a whole lot I can do. I can say that, for clothing still here, the stuff D1, D2 still largely a mess. The only thing I can say today is that maybe I want to recycle this, toss this on the trash. That's what I ate today. There's like some pastries, cheese pastries and pineapple pastries, kind of those traditional Chinese or Cantonese, think of Taiwan, Hong Kong pastries, stuff like that. So I'll throw that away. I don't think there's very much I can cover today in terms of physical stuff. So that's about a very short 5th or 6th segment right there. We'll move on to finally the thing which you see in the title right there. So digital media and the content that's within it. I had to update the task list today. Right now it seems like it's not responding. Not too much of a big deal, but it has to do with, obviously, something that has to do with the workplace and how I was arriving late once again. And in fact, I called in sick for the first time ever in the past 3.5 years. Doesn't seem to really register with anybody, because if you're late so often, people just forget the good things that you've done. I mean, basically, if you fail on your obligations for other people and commitments, eventually it will just wipe away anything that you've done that was good, because it's just natural for people to remember the things that you've done wrong. And that's not just about other people, that's the thing that I do, right? We all do this. If someone gets something right 9 times out of 10 and then they screw up 1 out of 10 times, what are you going to remember? You're not going to remember the 9 successes. You're going to remember that 1 time that they screwed up. Well, I mean, naturally, because that's what you want to change, right? And if something's going well, you don't really want to change it. So typically speaking, that is the behavior, and it's not a very great behavior, but it is the fact that's human nature right now. And as far as I'm concerned, I had to kind of, it's feeling kind of awful right now, because it's the first time calling in sick for 3.5 years. But the truth is, yeah, I have been late so consistently that I can't really expect them to feel any sort of sympathy or decide to have any leniency for me. And that's still my responsibility to just show up. Even though I resigned from my workplace, I'm still trying to help them wade through this pandemic situation. They can't really hire someone right now, so it's been a difficult time for them, and I kind of understand that, of course, for sure. And right now it's obviously just some strife going between us, and I just want to resolve certain misunderstandings by sending an email, leaving a voicemail. This happened because that, and it's not really, there's nothing. It's just a minor miscommunication. I'll try to get it right the next time. Sorry about that, and move on. Let's move on. Just we have a lot of work to do, and that's about that. And then there's some other things that I wanted to mention. Obviously, in the title right there, I haven't been keeping track of the things that I write down in the title, and so, or type away in the title, really. And so I've noticed that yesterday's and today's, like yesterday was like Project Climax Stage 1. That was the name. And what does it mean? What does it mean? And then at the end, it has this brain emoji that says numb. So numb. I didn't talk about any of this kind of stuff, but it's quite important, because at the end of the day, the titles mean something. And oftentimes what I noticed, and this is really an abstract portion of the stream where I talk about things that I can't really show you physically, right? It's like an idea, it's a concept. Basically, I was thinking maybe I should, jot down what's on the title, because oftentimes when I type in the title, doesn't necessarily resemble what's actually covered on stream, because I actually forget what's in the title. And usually when I'm in the state of mind that I'm typing up the title, I'm thinking about something else, And usually that's something else, as an event or a situation that I miss covering on stream. It's very sad. It's very sad. It's like there's a disconnect, right? It's something that's important enough that I would think about it, but I don't actually, or that I've had to encounter and actually experience it, but I don't include it inside the stream, which is stupid because, I mean, what the hell, man? So then you have something in your title that's not actually on stream, and the things that are on stream, you know, are things that, you know, they sort of exclude the thing that was apparently very important to you. In which case, yesterday I was talking about project state with the climate. Basically, I went through this phase where I stopped caring I had this steady state. I had this removed emotional influence. I stripped all emotions from myself, and I felt very numb, and it was very good because that at the same time it meant that I didn't really care about anybody or anything or any concept or idea or any failures, or I was just kind of free from all of it. I just knew what I had to do and I did it. And there was this numbing sensation, you know, I felt very numb, my body felt very numb, and that's why I included it there. So in terms of the emotional and cognitive and you know, affective states of mind, right there, that was, and the behavior and attitude, I was pretty much just numb, and it made it very good. It made it very easy for me, not good, very easy for me to be efficient with what I need to get done. So you can tell that I'm always kind of slipping back into that as I'm talking about that. Moving on, the next thing would be today's title, which we say kidney jeopardy. So obviously the past 5 days, it's been going on for weeks really, but it's really been, you know, I went into into a trough again. My health went under again as I binge ate or slept too late, and then woke up too late consistently for the past 5 days, and so on and so forth. So in terms of that, my stomach my abdomen on the left hand side, so I'm pretty sure I don't drink enough water either, and that's playing a role in this. But essentially probably had too much sugar from some of the food that I was like binge eating and stuff like that, and as a result, you know, I'm assuming right now the pain is coming from the clogging up of my descending colon, as well as potentially some pre-diabetic symptoms, as well as kidney damage, and potentially permanent kidney damage that eventually becomes irreversible and leads to kidney failure. So I'm assuming I could die in the next, I don't know when I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna make it to the age of 30, right? That coincides with the Ahn Rho Project's 1,000 Days Till Death sub-series, which of course right now, if you take a look at the percent, it's like 44% or something like that. So I'm almost halfway there. So I mean, if I die soon, maybe I'll die tomorrow. Maybe I'll die later today. You know, whatever. I try my best. Anyways, moving on. That's a health issue. That's disease. And so the last thing is just we have stuff on the comments and nothing. There's nothing. There's nobody here, which is great. And I'm just gonna skip ahead and say, okay, we're done with that. And the take-home message: I gotta go to work. I'm working overtime, so I'm gonna work today. There are some plans, like I said, in relationships. I still have to get back. There's some stuff to work out with my guardians, but you know, we'll see what happens there before we talk about on stream. That being said, this is the Ahn Rho Project. This is the take-home message, which is to take care of your health, your finances, yourself. Be sure to become a strong, disciplined, responsible individual. Hope to see a better version of you as well as myself in the next live stream tomorrow morning. It's not to preach; it's just to hopefully share this understanding with you, and hopefully you already share this understanding with me, common sense wise, that you can only offer something of value to society, to individuals, to people that you care about, if you can take care of your own self first. Take care of your own 2 feet, stand on your own 2 feet, and if you can be independent and strong and responsible, then you have something of value to contribute. Okay, with that being said, this is Ahn Rho signing out. Thank you for my dear hypothetical imaginary viewers for tuning in, and I'm signing out. So ciao.